Welcome to Dogs and Gooses, where, as my associate Starks always says, where the dogs are dirty and the goose is silly.
You're darn right.
Now we come together on this day, and it's a special day, Starks. Do you know why it's special?
Because it's May 4th. Oh, it's May the 4th.
You best believe
We're
it's
gonna
May
talk
the
about
4th.
Star
We're
Wars,
going to talk
aren't
about
we?
Star Wars.
All right.
I knew that you didn't know. Hold on. I got to pull out my prop.
Oh, the crocheted Yoda. Crocheted baby
I have
Yoda.
crocheted a baby Yoda.
As you guys know, like all true men, Williams crochets.
Right. There's not a lot of true men out there, it turns out.
Well, I'm not going to say that I don't know how to crochet, but...
You're not going to say that you do either?
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to say that I do either.
So, Baby Yoda is mic'd up.
Oh, is he?
Well, no, but we'll give him a mic real fast. He's kind of the silent type. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, just throw it on him.
Yep. I'm not turning on his mic, Starks.
You could.
I could, but
That might mess up the feed.
yeah,
Just turn it up. Just put on his mic.
yeah, just right there on his little jacket.
On his lapel.
I
got you.
All right, there we are.
Yoda I am. Well,
Very nice.
okay, crocheted Yoda. That's good
He's
enough.
not standing on his own.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean his ear against her.
Oh, there we are.
Okay.
Keep the mic on, you little guy.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
So our guest today is Baby Yoda, crocheted
That it is.
Baby Yoda. Can I say this is a fine piece of work, Williams? I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I only wish the women more recognize my gifts.
Yeah, I don't know, Williams. I don't know what it is that's made it hard for you. Every girl I know is like, I just want a man who crochets.
Yeah, isn't that on every dating profile?
It literally is, and so it's insane that none of these women have just scooped you right up.
I know, but
Women, wife this man up.
well, I don't want everyone Starks. You forget how big our podcast
That's
is.
true. Okay, not all of you women, specifically those that Williams would want, and I don't know how you're supposed to know that. Just guess. Wife this man up.
And preferably already single.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have to deal with frustrated boyfriends just being like,
he makes a good point.
she left me for Williams.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how all those guys sound.
Yeah, very feminine, evidently, with the high-pitched voice.
I have one voice for everyone. It's that voice.
It's very true. It could literally be Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you'd be like, "Get in the chopper."
Because to me, that's how he sounds.
That's how you sound. You make a fair point.
It's not my fault.
It could be though.
It could be, but it's not.
Oh, fair enough.
I was just born this way. But I also realized something today because, honestly, now I'm a fairly decent Star Wars guy. I really do enjoy the Star Wars. Do I know as much as the really big Star Wars guys? No. But I like it enough. But all week I haven't really been thinking too. I've thought about it periodically, May the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've been thinking about more is Cinco de Mayo, and I didn't realize that it's May the 4th and then Cinco de Mayo. Starks the perfect blend of two great things.
Two great holidays. That means today
It's like
if
Star
I had
Wars
time,
and tacos.
on this day next year, and you have a recording of this, so you can probably hold me to this. We should set up a day where we get tacos and then we watch Star Wars.
Starks, we should. Honestly, we should have done it.
Heck, we could do that tomorrow. We could get tacos ahead of time, save them, and then
That's
celebrate
true.
Cinco de Mayo and Star Wars same day.
That's true. It's possible. We might do that.
For you
Folks,
viewers,
we might.
we're going to call it May the Cinco de Mayo be with you.
A whole bunch of people. I forget how it goes, but they have names for each successive day, and they were pretty good. I think it was May the 4th. I forget the 5th one, but I think it was like Revenge of the 6th.
Oh, really?
Like Revenge of the 6th.
That's funny.
I think I got a thing of it. We don't talk about Star Wars a lot. We've talked about it a little on occasion. I don't know how much or are into Star Wars.
I have seen all of the Star Wars, and I like Star Wars. And actually, Maddie and I are due for a Star Wars marathon. I almost watched Star Wars last night, but I didn't. And that means that it's been literally probably anywhere from 6 to 15 years since I've seen certain Star Wars movies.
My goodness.
Mm-hmm.
We need to help you with that
Got to educate me. Edumacate.
a little.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to find. Oh, here it is. I think. No, that's not it. Goodness. I. So I have this thing where I save all these memes, and one of these I know has the one where they do the different Star Wars days. It's just there's a whole bunch of Star Wars memes in here. They're all fantastic.
Well,
Every single one of them.
you pick one. I will while you do that, I'll talk about. So when I was little, one of my best Star Wars memories is we went to go see the one as a kid. I was just a kid, and we went to the theaters for which one was it where Anakin turns out to be Darth Vader? That's when you find out who Darth Vader's been this whole time.
You mean where he turns into Darth Vader?
Yeah, like you actually find out that he's Anakin. Like, you were the chosen one. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them.
Episode 3.
That one, I saw that one in theaters. And there was a guy there who was dressed up as Darth Vader. And he gave me a balloon sword.
Do you still have the
No,
balloon
no,
sword?
I probably only lasted until about till I got home, to be honest. But that was one of my earlier memories with Star Wars. I know I've seen them all, but it's been a long time for some of them.
Was that the last time you saw that particular movie?
I think so. It's hard to say because I feel like I have a vague memory of a lot of the Star Wars films. That's better. But some of them were like so long ago that I'm like, have I even seen all of them? I'm pretty sure I have, but I don't really remember every detail, if that makes sense.
I mean, no one remembers every detail, Starks, but I think there's some. Like, do you know about the Trade Federation?
No. It's certainly been long enough that when I watched it, I didn't understand all the adult stuff. Like the rebels and yada. It was like Star
And
Wars,
trade.
like yeah, and trade. It was like lightsabers and fighting and yeah.
There was one that had all the different like through like the 10th, I think, or maybe even the 12th.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that kind of disappoints me that I can't find it.
Yeah. I apologize.
But
Williams.
alas, the show must go on.
It must go on. Wait, Williams, keep your clothes. Williams, put your clothes back on. We don't even have
it's
cameras
not
in
over
here.
until I shave my back.
Williams, we don't have cameras in here.
I think that was the Space Chimps. Did you ever see Space Chimps?
No.
He's like, it's not over until the bearded lady shaves her back. Because the monkey was from a circus originally when it's old.
That's funny.
It was quite humorous.
Well, I can't relate. I've never seen it.
So Starks, I figure, I have watched Star Wars a bit more recently than you have.
That's fair.
And one of the best moments was I was having my little sister watch the Star Wars movies, and we started from episode 1, and she didn't know a lot, and I remember making some offhanded comment, I think, during episode 2 sometime or something about Anakin was Darth Vader or whatever.
Yeah.
And she legitimately did not know, and she's like,
"Oh,
what?"
Spoilers, everybody, just so you know, in this whole episode.
Oh yes.
But if you haven't seen Star Wars, honestly, it's been what, like 30 years? More. It's been more than 30 years. It's been like 40 years.
You will find out.
When did they
someone
make
else
Star Wars? I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Do that. You will find that. I mean, Anakin does turn out to be Darth Vader.
What?
Yes. Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader. There, you heard me say it. You heard it here, folks.
1977.
I know. I used to work for a guy who went to the original Star Wars. He remembers going in theaters. And like he was a huge Star Wars guy. He went to all the movies, usually in costume.
Oh wow. So 1977. Let's do some quick math. That's 23 plus 24. So that's 47 years ago.
We're coming close on 50 years.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy to think that movie has been around, or like color movies have been around for that long. And then, like, they go back much further than Star Wars, but it's still wild.
Yeah, well, yeah, I remember we had a lot of like old cartoons. Uh, we had a collection of the old Popeye cartoons, if you remember
Mm-hmm.
those. And part of the collection, part of it was just black and white, and then you could see
Yeah.
it go into into
This
color.
the same thing. My dad has a the Bugs Bunny
Uh-huh.
collection, and like some of the early ones were black and white, and then some of the later ones were and they remastered a lot of them too, but they're really fun.
It's kind of nostalgic. Well, not I can't say nostalgic properly because I never grew up in the era of black and white
Uh-huh.
television. But it's almost classy, a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of the black and white, you know.
I think they managed it well. But I saw a video that said that when they in the movies, when the women needed to wear lipstick, they wore green lipstick because it shows up red in black and white, and red lipstick in black and white shows up black.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Can
I
you
don't know.
imagine being on
I,
set?
I don't know if
This
that's
lady
true.
with
I
this
saw that.
green lipstick,
Yeah.
lime green. You know.
To be clear, I saw that on Instagram. So, take that for what it's
Okay,
worth.
well,
But
then I'm not gonna take that down to the bank where I usually take all my
Williams, you could take it to the bank.
interesting facts.
Okay, fine.
Do you even remember what the names of the characters, Starks?
Yeah, you got Qui-Gon Jinn, Leia, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin,
Okay.
R2D2, C3PO. How would you not?
Okay, just making sure because legitimately I don't know if you haven't seen Star Wars in 10 to 15 years.
Williams, I'm familiar with Star Wars. And we'll just say that. Am I familiar with all of the nuances? Not really.
Well, then this is going to
Tatooine,
be a lot of fun because I have Star Wars trivia questions.
Oh no! It's gonna be so bad here.
And a lot of these I didn't know the answer to. I say a lot. Some of them are fairly.
All right, Baby Yoda, I'm counting on you to carry me through this one.
You got to whisper the answers into his ear.
Baby Yoda, tell me your secrets.
Baby Yoda looks a little frightened.
He does. He looks quite wide-eyed right this moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I am kind of like leaning in close to him and whispering in his ear. I don't know if that scares him a little bit.
He probably thinks you're the Sith, leaning over into Anakin's ear. Do it. Do you know the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Actually, I was gonna say I saw a post on Instagram again, and it was like two girls in a restaurant or whatever. You need to approach them. What's your first line? And I almost sent it to you. I didn't because I was in a rush somewhere. But it was like, have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
That is my go-to line.
Oh, literally, like you guys all the time. Williams will lean over to me and we'll just be like, we'll be in church or some such, and he'll be like, Starks.
Or like just a moment where there's nothing going on.
The tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. And the first time he did it, I think I was a little confused. Like I knew it was from Star Wars, but I didn't really know what to say. But now I just say no. And then he's like, I thought not. It seems like something the Jedi wouldn't tell you. Or something like that. So Williams and I have had this conversation like thousands of times.
Yeah. And I have told him the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
He has.
Do you remember the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No.
Didn't think so.
You had the perfect chance to say, I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you.
Okay.
Just now.
Starks. Have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
No.
I thought not. It's not a tale the Jedi would tell you.
So what is it?
Unimportant. We're going to move
on. Okay, fine.
So, Starks, you ready?
Yeah.
I don't. If you want, I'll try to answer it, but the answers are right there.
Nope. Just throw them my way, Williams, and I'll give them my best guess. Even if I don't know the answer, I know the answer.
Okay, good, because this one actually relates to Baby Yoda here.
Is it Friday?
No.
Oh.
It is not. What is Baby Yoda's real name?
Oh, it's Grogu? Grogu?
Very good, Starks.
Is it Grogu? Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Let's go!
Have you seen The Mandalorian?
I saw the first season. I have a bad habit of watching shows, and I like watch the first season, and then between the first and second seasons, I just lose interest. And so there's a bunch of shows like Stranger Things, even Clone Wars, Star Wars Clone Wars. I watched the first season of that.
You gotta kind of do different spots on it, because I think I haven't seen all of them, but the ones where Darth Maul's in there. some of the classier.
I think
episodes.
we're seeing some character development right now where I'm at in the Clone Wars. I think if I was able to like let it develop, I think it would kind of come around for me. But I just ran out of time. Which is what happened with Clone Wars. And so anyway, so I only saw the first season of The Mandalorian, and I think I watched episode 1 of season 2, but I just wasn't feeling it.
I watched both season 1 and season 2. I have not seen the third season, but I also heard that it gets not as good. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair.
I will say the Disney shows have kind of been dropping off, but who am I to say anything? Just a loyal fan.
Oh, and a podcaster. Williams, you're in media now.
You're right.
You're allowed to criticize.
I'm a big wig.
You are.
My word matters.
It's true.
I'm sick and tired of them Disney trying to destroy Star Wars.
It's true. Williams,
turning into just some quick cash cow.
I think they're going to listen, but be ready for the controversy. There's going to be a lot of controversy around big name Brandon Williams
having this
criticizes
hot take on Star Wars.
Big name Brandon Williams' hot take on Star Wars.
Because no one else feels this way.
Oh boy!
I will say I enjoyed especially the first season of The Mandalorian.
I liked the first season of The Mandalorian. There was
second season I thought was pretty good.
I thought it was pretty well done. The second season, I don't know. I just wasn't really feeling it too much.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but did you know that Boba Fett?
I knew Boba Fett showed up. There's a lot of hype, and I have a lot of friends who watch it.
The Boba Fett show was not very good, the Book of Boba Fett.
That's what I've heard. But it was meh.
Boba Fett in The Mandalorian was pretty good.
Oh, that's dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's our second one? I got Williams. I'm 1 of 1 right now. I need you to keep track of how many I get right and wrong.
I think this one's also okay. I'll try and keep track. This one's fairly simple too. I think. Where did Obi-Wan take Luke after his birth?
Is it Tatooine?
It is Tatooine.
I think that's the only planet that I could have guessed the name of. Because I'm pretty sure he goes to live with that one dude and his wife who were there.
Aunt Peru. And Uncle Owen.
Uncle Owen. And they die later, I'm pretty sure. But
yep.
They don't die like animals, and he's not going to slaughter them like animals. So that's Anakin. That's his dad.
It's something hilarious. The other day I was talking to some coworkers, some female coworkers. And I think a lot of girls aren't as into Star Wars for Star Wars. And I had a guess, and it turned out to be quite correct. Because we're talking about Star Wars. I'm like, have y'all seen Star Wars? They're like, yeah. And I am like, because I had read some article or whatever about how the Trade Federation, or the Neimoidians or whatever, who run the Trade Federation, are going to be in a new Star Wars show that they're putting out. And they're like, the who? Yeah. I'm like, have you guys seen Star Wars? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, did you watch it just for Anakin? Yes. They answered yes.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
they
that's
watched
interesting.
It just for Anakin stuff.
I think I've solved all of your qualms with dating. Here's what you do.
Anakin's not that great. He turns into Darth Vader.
Williams. No, I've already solved it. Just listen. First off, you have 2 things you can do. One is to cut off your arm, or potentially both arms, and
everyone knows you're a lot hotter with most of your limbs.
Yeah, it's true.
Limbs burned off.
Never mind that our technology hasn't got quite to the point where we can create robotic arms. Okay, never mind the fact that you'll never feel like with your hands again. These are options.
I'll be dark and mysterious.
Is to perfectly learn the pickup line that Anakin used on Padme.
Sand. I hate it. It's coarse. It gets everywhere.
It's coarse. It gets everywhere.
Take them out to like the sand dunes or the beach. Sand. I hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
Every girl you talk to, you're like, you want to go with me to the sand dunes? I need to memorize that line just so I can pull that on Maddie.
You should.
I'm going to do it.
She may not get it because I don't know how into Star Wars she is.
I think she likes Star Wars.
She knows that line.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the quintessential lines.
I think most of the time anyone's...
And all those cheesy love lines like, I can't forget the kiss that you shouldn't have gave me.
Remember when she was like 15 and he was like a kid?
Yeah.
Padme was the original groomer.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Starks right here.
Thousands of years ago in a galaxy far away, she set a terrible precedent.
I think it's disgusting when Luke and Leia kiss. Twice.
The Skywalker family just going through, just wrecking everything. I mean, I guess technically
There's a
Padme.
lot of problems. And I will say, Anakin grew up in it's not necessarily bad growing up in a single parent household, but
his mom she worked a lot, Williams.
She did work a lot. She was like never home, though.
Williams, how dare you?
And
she was trying her best.
It didn't help that they were both slaves.
Yeah, that probably does make a difference. I think that
hurt their home life.
Yeah, probably just a little bit. She did support Anakin in his desire to build robots.
That's true.
Probably fostered some good traits until he decided to grow up and become part of the evil empire.
I will say that the Jedi didn't help it because that was still like a single parent household type deal, and they were constantly facing life or death peril.
That's very true.
Doing what the Jedi do.
Well, also not only that, but they kind of kept sliding Anakin. Like, for example, they made him a member of the council.
And then they refused to promote him to the rank of master.
Yeah.
What kind of group does that? The Jedi, apparently.
Honestly, they were asking for it. He wanted to make sure none of those other kids could become masters. Master Skywalker, what should we do?
Yeah, how should we fight them?
Yeah.
And then the lightsaber. That is one of the darkest.
That is such a dark scene. And that's such a dark, that was so crazy. Oh, I was going to say, we talked about Luke and Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the scene in Star Wars when he goes, "No, I am your father." And that's always misquoted. I've heard of that. Because everyone thinks it says, "Luke, I am your father." But he says, "No, I'm not your father." But anyway, I was reading a book recently. And there's like this dark evil overlord, just like in most books, and the main character comes through, and he's like, "I'm your father," and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cliche." And then the evil guy starts laughing, and then he's like, "I'm just messing with you," and then they fight. But it was kind of funny because like Star Wars kind of set this precedent against like that for and against that trope of the bad guy being like one of your parents.
Have you seen Spaceballs?
No.
I can't recommend it to everyone, but it is a funny movie. And it's like the silly type kind of funny. But in it, like it's basically a Star Wars, like a ripoff of all the space movies.
Uh-huh.
So they got this character named Darth Helmet.
Darth Helmet.
And they kind of got this. They're gonna do battle with these little ring lightsaber things that they got on. And it's Rick Moranis who plays Darth Helmet. The guy from Honey, We Shrunk the Kids.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever. He does it, and he goes. He's like, "Did you know that I am your father's brother's cousin's something or other's roommate or former roommate?" He's like, "What does that make us?" "Absolutely nothing." Which is why I'm going to cut you down. Or whatever.
Well, that's what I was going to say is they evidently stole my idea before I ever had the idea. But I was going to say it'd be funny if someone was like, "I'm your third cousin."
Just like, ah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
It was a great film. All right, you ready for another question?
Williams, I was born ready for this.
I skipped over a dumb sequel trilogy question.
Well, we need to hear
because
it.
I don't. Okay, do you want it?
Don't let it count towards my score though, because it's dumb. Unless I get it. This is extra credit.
The question is, who is Palpatine's granddaughter?
Oh, that's so stupid. It's Rey. So that means I got 3 out of 2 right now.
I'll give you 3 out of 3. Okay.
3 out of 2, Williams.
This
is extra credit. We decided it wouldn't count against me.
Yeah, not against you.
That's also so stupid. That's so easy.
That I don't like. I think they really did the sequel trilogy bad. I just don't count it in my Star Wars headcanon. Okay, question 4. Who was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan?
Anakin Skywalker's. Oh, that's the one girl with the hair. What's her name? It's not hair. It's like they're.
You're close.
I'm trying to remember her name. I know her name. She's in. I watched the first season of Clone Wars.
And she's in there.
Can you give me credit for knowing who she is? She's got the crazy hair.
Can you give me at least the letter it starts with?
I can't even think of
What
her
if I
name.
give you the letter it starts
Give me
with?
the letter it starts with.
A.
Ahsoka.
You're so...
Ahsoka?
There you are.
Ahsoka.
There, okay, I'll give you credit for that one.
Let's go. 4 out of 3.
Ahsoka Tano. Alright. What is Mando's real name from The Mandalorian?
Ooh.
You watched the whole first season. You should know.
Quentin Tarantino.
Incorrect.
I actually don't know that one.
It's a Din Djarin.
Din Djarin. So I'm 4 out of 4 right now. That extra credit one counts, Williams. Don't rob me of that.
I don't know. Okay. Who had the highest midichlorian count in Star Wars?
Oh.
Do you remember what a midichlorian is?
Yeah, I know what a midichlorian is. Is that going to be Rey? I feel like it's Rey just because that one, like, Rey. Okay, I'm probably wrong. It might be Palpatine or some such. But I want to say Rey just because Rey came in and they basically were like, she's the freaking best. You know why? Just because.
I'm not going to count that against you because I think that probably they were trying to make it out to be, but they never measured her midichlorian count. The answer is Anakin Skywalker. I think he's really the only one that they ever measured.
That's true. That's true.
They like compare his
Everyone
count to a
else-
few other people. Like,
yeah.
he has higher midichlorian count than Master Yoda or whatever.
Yeah, and everyone else, they're like, what do they say? Everyone else, they're like, they have high midichlorian. Or they have low.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, that's fair.
So I won't count that against you.
Okay, so I'm still 4 out of 4.
Okay, this should be an easy one because you already looked this up. When did the first Star Wars movie come out?
1977.
Very good start.
I knew that off the top of my head before I looked it up.
Where is Jabba the Hutt's palace located?
I feel like it starts with an N, the planet.
Are you getting guess or?
Is it your mom's house?
No, it is not your mom's house.
Dang it. How about Nebraska?
No.
My mom's house?
No.
Dang it. Okay, you got me. What's this one?
Tatooine.
Oh, that's Tatooine too?
Did you not?
Dang it, I should have just guessed that one.
Most of Star Wars happens on this remote desert
Dang it. Is the next planet question Tatooine?
planet. I asked the question.
So I finally lost a question. 4 out of 5.
What's the name of Boba Fett's ship?
Boba Fett Speedy McGee.
No.
Okay. Is it Starfire? What's that show called? It's a
What show?
it's a totally different show.
Oh.
It stars Nathan Fillion, and they like are on a ship, and there was only like one season. It was like Starfire or something like that.
I don't know who that actor is.
I could sing the whole theme song for you right now, but I can't remember.
I'm tempted to have you go for it.
Wibbs, you asked me and I'll do it.
All right, do it.
What's it? Okay, but everyone just know that I'm not a professional singer. What is it? It goes.
Oh, don't tell them silly things like that.
Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand.
So they had like a countryish
I don't
theme.
care. I'm still free. You can't take the sky from me.
Was he a pilot or was he a?
Yeah,
or was he
it's-
in space?
1 second. It's kind of like has a similar feeling to Star Wars.
But they had a country song.
It's not
their...
Starfire, but it's something like that. And it might not even be Nathan Fillion. I always get Nathan Fillion mixed up with what's that one dude?
I don't know. I don't even know who Nathan Fillion is. So I don't.
You'll
Don't
know
know
him.
who-
Look, it's this guy. He's the guy from Castle.
I don't know. Kind of looks like Jeremy Renner a little bit, you know. Renner, or whatever his name is. Hawkeye.
Yeah, he does look a little bit like that. Firefly. It's called Firefly.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll show you the theme song after the episode.
okay.
But I already sang some of it. But I
Spoiler
like the theme
alert.
song. I like the theme song. It's a really good show. I really enjoyed it. But it was like right in the middle of like either the first or second season, like at the end of the season,
Mm-hmm.
and they canceled the show. And there were tons of fans.
That's crummy.
And so you actually hear a lot of pop culture references to it because it was really popular, but for some reason they just killed the show. So what they did is they made a 2-hour movie out of it to kind of like tie up the loose ends for the fans.
Mm-hmm.
And then they killed like a main character or two in the movie.
Got a whole bunch of hate.
And it's tough. It's a tough thing. I've seen a lot of memes about like just one of the ways the characters died. Like somebody made a what's it called? A gingerbread model of their ship, and one of the characters dies by like a giant spike flies through the windshield and impales him. And so somebody made the gingerbread model, and then somebody else put a toothpick through the front windshield.
That's awful.
It's terrible.
It's so dark.
Yeah.
Impales the gingerbread inside.
Yeah. But it's a really good show. Firefly, I would recommend it. Now there's going to be a headline that's be like, Nate Starks acclaims Firefly. Laments the loss of such a
our great fame.
Show. Yeah.
Our great fame.
Yeah. We sometimes forget the influence that we have, Williams.
But what are we to do?
That's true.
So do you have an answer to...
No, I don't. It's Firefly.
Slave One. However, I won't say that you're kind of like getting close to, because I think recently they kind of tried to retcon the name Slave One, even though it's what has been. It was never overtly mentioned, I don't think, in any of the movies, but in all like the sets and stuff, and you could buy the little Slave One ship.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever would have got that one. So what does that make me like?
I think they've started calling it by the name of the ship. It is like
Firefly?
No, it's not Firefly, but I don't know.
Fireflyer.
So, you missed another instruction, but I have a good feeling that you're going to get at least these next two.
Is it Tatooine?
Darks, don't be answering before you hear the question. Who are Kylo Ren's parents? Another sequel
Han Solo and Leia.
Very good.
That's so easy.
Okay, who killed Qui-Gon Jinn?
Darth Maul.
Very good. I was worried for you there for a second.
Darth Maul was kind of a cool bad guy to just like disappear.
Honestly,
I mean, they cut him in half and he fell in a pit, so he didn't disappear, but he was.
They bring him back in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And I guess a little bit in that Star Wars Rebels show.
Oh, really?
They actually have a really cool ending for him in that show.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive that he got cut in half and like totally lived.
I mean, I guess when you're a Sith, you can just have this like intense hatred, and that just like fuels you, so you don't die.
What do you think of that, Grogu? You make a good point.
Cool it is.
Cool it is. Sith I will become.
Okay, according to Yoda, there are always how many Sith Lords? No more, no less.
2. 2 there are.
Very good.
A master and an apprentice.
It's also known as the rule of 2. Less. And because of my, I'll push up my nerd glasses a little bit. It was established by Darth Bane. Who was a Sith Lord who put that into effect because he was tired of having all these Sith fight each other. He did believe this. This is LA. Okay,
Go ahead.
What is the episode number of the very first Star Wars film?
4.
Very good. That's kind of a common one. But
what am I at, Williams? How many have I kept?
I mean, the majority of the questions you've gotten right.
Wait, that's not a number.
I will count it up. Okay. Let's get through 20 questions.
Are we doing 20? Oh, wow. We need a burn. I'm sorry. I thought we had like 10.
We just went through 12.
Actually,
we went through 13.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Who built C-3PO?
Anakin. When he was but a wee little lad.
Very good. What is the name of Han Solo's ship?
Millennium Falcon.
Very good. That breath, I was like...
I had to think about it for a second. But that's probably one of the most famous spaceships ever.
This one, I don't know if you're going to get. Who acted as Queen Amidala's decoy?
It was one of her maids. But Tatooine. Is my real answer. It was one of her like maids, and her maid got killed. It was like one of her servants or some such. I don't remember her name, but
her name is Sabe.
ah, good old Sabe. That was my next guess.
Her handmaid. I'll give you half for that.
You give me half. Okay.
How about that?
I would like to answer again. Tatooine.
No. What was Finn's?
Tatooine.
Well, I'm not going to ask you this. We're skipping. We're going to do. We're going to cut that question out.
Is it dumb?
Yeah, it's like, what was Finn's stormtrooper number? No one cares,
I don't know.
because no one cares about the sequel trilogy.
Also, like, Finn's character was wasted. He had so much potential to be cool, and they were like.
And honestly, like, Episode 8, I think, is where they really went off track.
Well,
Episode 8 was horrendous.
I watched it.
And then they set with Episode 8 some stuff up for Finn that just never.
Yeah, well, that just never came to be.
Mm-hmm.
So what I heard is somebody, who was it? Somebody was telling me about the mistake they made, and basically they said that they had different directors for each one. So they had a director who had a vision in Episode 7.
I think it was J.J. Abrams, right?
J.J. Abrams, I don't know. I just work here.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a director who had a vision for the next trilogy, and it was J.J. Abrams. He was kind of directing it a certain way, and they hired somebody else for the next one, for the 8th one.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it was
he
Ryan
took it in a totally different, direction. This Ryan fellow.
Yeah.
And then they hired, because it was so bad and so many people disliked it, they hired the same J.J. Abrams guy for the 9th one. And so he kind of tried to like patch everything back together, but it was just such a mess. You
can't undo that damage.
No, you can't.
And I think, that was their fatal mistake. Because I think it could have been better, but he brought in a whole bunch of stuff. I think it was just a result of him trying to tie things up and
I think the last one
bring
to
people
me was
back.
just so weird. Like, they bring back Palpatine, and
because you can't.
Well, they didn't have any clear big bad throughout the whole thing, which I feel like is like a rule number 1 in literature and in like just storytelling in general. You've got to have a big bad, unless you're like, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Very poorly done final trilogy. I think that's not really a controversial statement.
And so no one cares about Finn's stormtrooper number.
Yeah. Is it 3?
No. For the books, it's FN2187.
That was my next guess.
I know that it was. Okay, this one I don't know if you'll get, but where was Yoda's home in his final years?
Oh, it was in the swamp somewhere in Tatooine. I'm
just
kidding, it's not Tatooine.
No.
It was in the swamps. I remember Luke goes there.
Come on, Weird Al Yankovic has a song called Yoda where he talks, Yoda. I went down to Yoda. Da, da, da. That's your hint. It's 3 syllables.
I went down to Tatooine.
Maybe all the planets in Star Wars are 3 syllables. That doesn't help you.
Is it Kentucky?
Okay, are you done guessing?
Yeah, go for it.
Dagobah.
Yeah, there was no way I was getting that.
Do you not remember? I went down to Dagobah.
Nope, because I probably heard that and I was like, that sounds like a made-up word.
Yoda. Okay. Chancellor Palpatine was which Sith Lord? What was his Sith name?
What was his Sith name?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I know this, but
I'll give you one hint. It starts with Darth.
Well, I knew that. I had the Darth part. Darth Palpatine, Darth Sidious.
Very good. It is Darth Sidious. Okay, Han Solo was frozen in what?
Oh.
This is really entertaining for me.
I'm sure you're having fun. I love that.
I will say that I've known a decent number of these.
I feel like I've heard this one before. That's why it's bothering me. I'm trying to think of what it could be. He was frozen in cold water.
That is incorrect.
Was I close though?
No, not really.
No, I remember the part, and I remember because
He's frozen
Leia? Leia's like, "I love you." He's like, "I know."
in.
I don't know this one.
Carbonite.
Carbonite. That was my next guess.
All right, one more to make it 20 because of the stupid prequel question. Oh, this is another prequel.
Just
who?
You can just move on if you
Okay.
want. Find us a good one. It's our last one. It's our finale question.
This is a good one. I'll do two more just because the next one after this is an easy one for you.
Okay.
Luke lost which of his hands in a fight with Darth Vader?
Oh, that actually is.
That is a good question. It's 50-50
he's
shot.
like holding. Oh, I can't even remember. Because I remember the picture of him holding the thing. I feel like it's his left hand, but I thought it was his lightsaber hand. Which would make it his right hand, I think. We're going to say left hand.
You're saying his right hand, because I think it is his lightsaber.
I was going to say, I thought it was his
Lightsaber
lightsaber hand, but I feel like I just picture him with his left hand as a stump.
I guess, kind of.
So clearly this trivia site's lying to us, basically, is what I'm saying. So what's the next one? Is it Tatooine?
No, but
Dang it.
finish this quote from The Mandalorian. This is the blank.
This is the way.
Very good.
You know the way?
So I'll count that into your final score. So let's see, you got, I tallied 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14 and a half out of 21.
Ooh, let's go. Call me a Star Wars nerd. Hello. This is Nate, Star Wars nerd.
Very, very good, Starks. Did you feel like you learned something?
I did learn something. I learned that Yoda went and retired on Dagobah.
It's Dagobah.
Dagobah. That was my next guess. And the Mandalorian's first name was Din, and his last name was
Djarin.
Shepard. Oh.
Oh.
That's what we said the same thing. That's so funny.
Just right over each other.
Yeah, that's wild, Williams. Ooh, good times.
Well, and because it's close to Cinco de Mayo, I wanted to review a few Cinco de Mayo facts, if that's all right.
Williams, I suppose I'll
on
allow
the
it.
same site.
Wait, you need to ask me, though, if they're trivia format. You got to ask me.
They're not, but if you want, I can turn them into trivia
Try
format.
If you can. I want to
Okay.
up my score. Cinco de Mayo means 5th of May. There we go. There's one more. Got it.
Oh, this
Boom.
one's a fun one. In 2013, Americans spent more than blank $1 million on beer for Cinco de Mayo, according to Nielsen. I don't know who Nielsen is.
You know, there's a quote that's inspired me in my life, and it continues just to inspire me to this day. It goes like this. Pick number 3! Pick number 3, my lord! I'm going to go with $3 million.
600 million.
Holy cow. I was close. I was darn close.
2013, us Americans are just throwing them back, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Williams, let me tell you a secret. We get it done.
And I don't even drink, so somebody was out there drinking for me,
Yeah. No joke. We don't mess around, Williams.
Okay. I don't know how to turn this into a trivia question, but not every Mexican state celebrates Cinco de Mayo, says ThoughtCo, whoever ThoughtCo is.
Good old ThoughtCo.
I want to say that it isn't a big deal. I think it has something to do, if I remember correctly, with just some little battle.
Oh, really?
Or whatever, a little skirmish. And it's
Cinco...
us Americans who are like, it's used as an excuse to celebrate and
tacos
and drink beer.
I am curious if Cinco de Mayo and Dia de la Muerte, those are separate days, right?
Yeah, the Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead, yeah.
So I think it's a fairly big holiday down there to celebrate the Day of the Dead.
Is it as big as Christmas?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never been down to
so
Mexico.
You're trying to give me trivia, and then you don't know it. Wow, holy cow!
Do you have the answer? Do you have the answer?
I don't think it's as big as Christmas now.
you just off the top of your head, that's what you think? Or do you have some actual proof to back it up?
My uncle married a woman from Mexico. Her name's Agata. Very nice woman. And I believe she was telling me about her family celebrating Christmas. But I haven't heard about anything about her family celebrating Cinco de Mayo. So it's an inference, for sure. A tenuous guess. But I'd bet about $10 that I'm right.
Okay. This is another just funny fact. I don't know how to turn this into trivia. But in 2017, the Corona Beer Company lit up New York's famous Times Square ball.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it look like a lime wedge.
Oh.
And they hosted a lime drop to celebrate the Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. A lot of beer
in the Cinco de Mayo tradition. Yeah. Maybe that's why we don't celebrate it as much.
No way. Starks, we might have to hit the road tomorrow.
What's going on?
Okay, some cities around the country, including Denver, Colorado, which is not super far, and Chandler, Arizona, which may not be far either, I don't know, hold an annual Chihuahua race in honor of Cinco de Mayo.
I want to see
We
this.
have to go.
Williams.
We have to go.
Let's go. Let's hit the road right now. Let's get going. We can have our tacos and watch Star Wars on the way.
While driving. In 2000, hold on. I kind of partially answered, but I didn't fully answer. What year did Congress declare Cinco de Mayo an official U.S. holiday?
2005.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I am legit. Good guess.
What do you mean guess? I knew that.
It's kind of funny because I didn't know that we officially declared it a national.
Waves, do you even pay attention to our great country?
Well, let me see. I was 7 at that point.
Yeah.
I can't believe that my first 7 years that we didn't officially recognize Cinco de Mayo.
I remember being 6
what a
and
tragedy.
being like, what is wrong with this country we live in?
Okay, let's see. Okay, well, hold on. I didn't know that it's celebrated in a few other places around the world. And places include Brisbane, Australia, Malta, and the Cayman Islands. Okay, Americans drink an average of blank alcoholic beverages each year on Cinco de Mayo, according to a survey from alcohol.org.
Oh, wow. So we're talking about like an average, like one person? Or
like how many drinks?
Country?
Yeah. No. Americans drink an average of 3.5. Oh, I already answered.
Liters?
No, alcoholic beverages.
Oh, 3.5. Oh, okay. We're talking about the whole thing. We're not talking about like a specific weight measurement or whatever. Or fluid measurement.
When they drink on Cinco de Mayo, they're drinking at least 3.5. According to alcohol.org.
Which is impressive because you and I account for 0, so that means that some people are out there making up for us, Williams.
But unless they're just counting people who drink.
It could be.
I hope not. Because that'd mean wow.
That means a lot higher.
I hope so.
Yeah. I don't know, Williams. I actually just work here.
Okay, Americans drink more blank than any other country, according to the drinks market analysis from IWSR, whatever that is.
More what? Say Americans think more blank.
Drink more blank than any other country. It's an alcoholic beverage.
Corona.
No.
Bud Light.
No.
Beer.
No.
Orange juice.
Alcoholic beverage.
Fermented orange juice.
Close,
Vodka.
but no.
Oh.
All right.
I'm done. Yeah, go ahead.
Tequila.
That was my next guess.
I mean, maybe vodka. I don't know. And there's just, I don't know.
We don't trust this fact site, especially when they disagree with me.
I always said that they are quoting, trying to get reputable organizations. All these are about drinking, most of them.
Yeah, that's lame.
Oh.
Anyway.
About 1 in how many restaurants in the U.S. serve Mexican food, according to the Pew Research Center?
I'm going to say 1 in 5.
1 in 10.
I was close. Double 5 and leave 1 the same.
Here's a fun fact. Los Angeles' annual Cinco de Mayo celebration is bigger than the one in Puebla, Mexico, where the holiday originated.
That's because in Los Angeles, Williams, they go hard in the
I think in America we just go hard in the paint. We're like, this holiday means tacos for us,
paint.
and apparently lots of alcohol.
We don't mess around. That's how it is.
Goodness, don't drink and drive, kids. Just don't drink, and you'll have the problem in the first place.
It's true. Except for Sprite. It's good for you. Sort of. Gooder for you
It's better.
than beer. No, it's gooder for you than beer. Gooder, if you prefer.
But if you prefer.
If you prefer.
Starks, do you have any final thoughts on Cinco de Mayo or Star Wars?
I think I'm just going to say Happy Cinco de Mayo to all you people. And go home and watch some Star Wars. It's important.
Please.
As you can tell, I take it seriously. I got, 14.5 out of 21?
Yeah.
And I think one of those is the bonus questions. Just going to say it. So I think that actually means that I got 14.5 out of 20. But who am I to call the judges into question?
You're not able to call the judge in the question.
So, yeah, I think that's all I've got.
All right, Baby Yoda, anything?
Good episode this was.
I couldn't said it better myself.
Thank you, Baby Yoda. We appreciate you. Should Baby Yoda sign us out?
Here in a second, he will. I do want to say that you noticed that we had no question from the audience section because our audience, just hasn't been getting us questions, and so
yeah, I think we got a few
we
in previous
appreciate
podcasts, but I don't think we got any on the most recent episode.
No, I mean Starks replied. I mean not Craig replied. But it was
we can't repeat what he said.
Yeah,
for fear it'll offend some family members of some of us.
But anyway, so if you submit questions, we may or may not get around to them. We prefer if you submit questions. All right, Baby Yoda, sign us out.
Listen if you want, or not. We care not.